And I feel like they will be leading with Snake King's hero in this phase as, again, you don't have the priority. You will be able to get the first pick out of this phase, but you don't have the last pick. So you want to keep this lineup as open as possible. And that's why the Gyrocopter, again, is such a perfect pick. You don't really show anything. And once we pick up Snake's hero, again, it doesn't show too much, but we still have the Beastmaster. They really weren't able to target down that many heroes. It could be the Beast. I feel like it has to be something with Lockdown. If anything, we could see the Pit Lord coming out, a hero that we see picked up a lot versus the Puck versus the Enigma. Okay.
Where's PPD? Yeah, that's not this.
Yeah.
That I think we're. What happened? this is just something that was like only picked when he was on the team.
Yeah. This is interesting. You're right. It's a PPD classic hero, and is this the first time? I think this is the first time I've seen it picked in BTS Pro Series. I know it for a fact it hasn't been picked in playoffs at all, but again, this is PentAce's strength. They have such a deep hero pool. They bring a lot of these heroes out of the bag whenever it comes down to it, and I'm a little bit skeptical, to be honest, because Treant, while you are able to punch up, you do a lot of damage. You are going to get sort of clicked by this Enigma, and if there's a feed hero, Treant's one of the biggest feed heroes in the game. You kind of, once you're in, you're just a big, slow tree, man. You kind of just get punched down.
The good thing, though, is it is a great Enigma counter, right? You just immediately overgrowth the black hole. It's a BKB piercing disable. It was one of the reasons they used to run the silencer. And, I mean, I've picked this personally into Enigma a couple times just to figure out how it feels. And if you just get a Blink Dagger and sit in trees, this Enigma's game is so impossible. Like, he never gets to actually go for a solid black hole play. So I kind of like it in that respect. And we'll see how Moo does on it. Is it going to be probably the 5 position tree here, right? Unless they're trying something really weird. But they do respond with Tusk here. Great scouting potential for the tree, which is good, right?
And it's just a perfect hero, especially in lane. And that's the hero they needed, and I felt like they needed on Thelia Core, not in the last game, but in general, where you're able to finally punish that 5. You're finally able to get that kill threat. And they just get to pick Beastmaster. And while I do like the Tusk Enigma lane, I do think it could succeed very well versus the Treant Protector. The tag team is just disgusting at certain junctures in that lane. I don't know if it's going to be enough. As PentAce, they're gearing up for a really scary team fight, and again, patience is key, where they need to be able to get a jump, if anything, onto the Treant Protector. If they can kill him off at the beginning of any fight, then this Enigma is going to have free lane, but the engagement is so important, and it feels like it's such a 50-50 team fight lineup for both sides. And that's where this Beastmaster becomes so good, where you now have the vision control. You're very easily going to be able to decide whether or not you want to heavily engage on this team, and I like the PL. This is a very good pick.
Mm-hmm. The PL pick obviously counters out the Beastmaster lane. Not a bad matchup into the Gyro either. You do have to get that Maelstrom and the Side Gunner online, but PL, if it goes late game, absolutely trumps the Gyro. You just don't have the damage to deal with this hero. So we'll see how he ends up doing. Now, the question is, what can you pick here on PentAce? Because they actually set up this PL pretty well, just based on the second phase bans here from SG Esports, right? They got rid of a lot of the heroes that you don't want to play against.
And it's really scary as well, because you get to that point where suddenly all of the Doppels are tanking the flak cannon. Suddenly you're causing the chaos. The Earth Spirit can't find a jump. Anything. This is like a picture perfect PL game. And this is what I was talking about with the edge out in the draft, where finally it feels like SG, they've got those 2 counter picks where they get to see 4 heroes. They get to finally get a very good matchup for themselves. And I think in this game, more so than the others, we're finally going to see SG able to pull out ahead in their lanes. Whereas in the previous game, they really just got outdrafted completely. And PentAce, they have last pick. They will be able to secure Relay Hero, but SG on point with their bans. Taking out the Kunkka, taking out the Void Spirit. They know exactly what Relay is going to want to play. And I don't think they're going to reach... Well, we always, whenever we talk about Relay, we always talk about the Quap, the OD, the Storm Spirit. And I don't think you can reach for a lot of those heroes this time around. An immediate pick.
Oh, that's a fantastic pick. That is a fantastic pick. I mean, is Ember Spirit the only option you have left in this game?
It's got to be something good. As I'm trying to sort of delve into the hero picks. What could they pick versus this Timbersaw mid? And it doesn't even need to be a Timbersaw mid. This is such a good pick, and why we see sometimes even Timbersaw banned out in the first phase, where this guy can lane anywhere. They could literally put every hero anywhere, and they would get a matchup that they want.
I'm pretty sure it's... Oh, they go Queen of Pain. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being 5 Enigma here and the Puck mid, right?
I think with the and with
Hmm.
40R, now you've even secured a mid lane matchup where this just feels like a perfect draft from SG, actually. They've completely countered and sort of pushed PentAce into a corner. And I'm full SG now. They've completely flipped the script. Queen of Pain, she can't go the dagger build versus the puck. It just doesn't straight up doesn't work. You always get the phase shift dodge on it. Now Cage is on the Enigma. They've shifted all of the positions down, and I feel like they've got the leg up in pretty much every lane. If anything, Tavo does need to be a little bit careful. We have seen the Gyro been able to punish this Timbersaw at key moments in the lane, but Moo's gonna have an awful time. The
Yeah.
whirling death tag team combo, it does so much damage to Moo, and he's always going to be in the trees. You're always going to get that big pure damage coming out. And I feel like SG Esports is the pressure is completely flipped. Where now it's pretty much entirely up to Z Freak to make these plays in the lanes, and SG they've got such a strong draft this time around. I'm almost dumbstruck.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you're right. The last pick Timber is almost like a nail in the coffin here for me. Like, you have this scenario where this Treant's game is over, right? Like, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do on the Treant Protector. You have so much scouting potential just between the Tusk and him. The 5 position Enigma, you pick the Treant here to give yourself that counter to the Enigma, and it's just not going to be there now because it is just a 5 position Enigma. You don't really care all that much. But again, the mid lane matchup is the thing. Like, this is your final pick. They go for the Queen of Pain, and it's into a puck. You know, one of the classic counters to the Queen of Pain. The lane ends up going, when we say counters, the lane goes fairly even, right? It's not like puck destroys Queen of Pain in lane. It just, you don't get ran over by the Queen of Pain, which is one of the reasons this hero gets picked, right? You go the dagger spam, you can't out sustain it, and then Queen of Pain eventually pushes you out of lane, rotates, gets kills all over the map, and accelerates the game to a pace that you can't control. But puck doesn't have that problem. And it's one of the reasons we see the puck picked into this Queen of Pain all the time. So PentAce, it's an interesting draft. I'll give them that. I don't think they're completely out based on the draft alone, but I'm with you. I think SG Esports have a fantastic shot here.
Well, and we will see as Ryoya, when you get Ryoya on these heroes that have these Orchid timings, he hits it pretty much every time on the dot, those 12 to 14-minute Orchids where he's always able to make a play somewhere. They will be able to maybe punish this Timbersaw, where they do have a lot of magic damage. Again, PentAce, they kind of have the capital on that. Whereas SG, if they're able to tank up, if they're able to survive through it, PentAce will run out of gas very quickly unless they're able to get these Roshans, they're able to snowball the map in their favor. I think the smoke up is perfect. They want to see what's going on. If they can punish this Timbersaw, even just get the first blood on him, that'd be a fantastic start for Fear, as it matters so much the early levels in this game where once puck hits level 6, then it's the counter. It feels like in the previous game, every single time PentAce had a punch back for SG's play, now SG are in that sort of rebuttal position where they're going to be able to make the counter plays just as easily as PentAce are going to be able to aggress towards them.
30 seconds.
Tavo already getting to work on the trees in the bottom
Yep.
lane. Yeah. This is one of those things, like, there's no, you can't do anything. Treant just has to play on the right side of the tree line, which is just inherently worse. Z Freak here, and might be in some trouble. Tag team does come out.
No.
The orb up onto the high ground, goes for the roll. Barely makes it out. Z Freak sweating a little bit after that one, but we'll have TP in about 20 seconds.
Against Perfect, it looks like they're trying to cut him off a little bit. Oh, they're going to get bullied off of their runes. Actually, this is 4 for... Okay. Tavo did get 1, but still not a bad start.
Yeah, not at all. I don't think you're too worried about it if you're SG Esports. I think you know your lanes are going to be pretty good here.
And Mu, again, he did greed out for that Boots first pickup, so he only has 1 Tango. If they scouted it out with SG, I'm surprised this time around they didn't get behind the tower, try to get that ward that we usually see. As we see so many times, we've seen so many Miranda's kill couriers with that ward. They're just so knowledgeable of what's going on. And once he gets the boots, it is a little bit scary for Tavo at those early levels, but again, Mu always needs to be so cautious. If he gets out of position with the tag team, he's just going to get punished. He's just going to get clicked. And I'm not sure if you're able to deny a lot on Fear this time around. You're not really able to put the pressure on Tavo nearly as much as you were in that previous game.
Now, I will say the Nature's Grasp is a lot of damage. If you don't respect the damage of the Treant Protector, you will die. And right here at the core bottom lane, trying to go for just the creep pull here. He's going to be successful with those boots first. Can actually close the gap there. And Z-Freak trying to do the same thing in the top lane and get the Beastmaster away from the Phantom Lancer, right?
Well, it's very unfortunate because we don't see Mu on that Witch Doctor same time around. In fact, I believe he's 35 MS slower, and Tavo, he's just going to get a free level 2, not much he could do. Meanwhile, KJ, Z-Freak is getting much more contested on his creep pull, and at the same time, this is all to the benefit of the offlaners. Snaking will be able to get a little bit of an influx of creep waves coming towards him as KJ isn't able to get that easy pull off. He might try to pull the small at 47, but at the same time, Z-Freak, he's so good at this. He's so good at causing the interference and stopping the 5 from really being able to do their job effectively. But is Enigma. You are going to lose out on a lot of your creeps just for the sole fact of it is Enigma. He's very obnoxious.
Indeed. Tavo just dancing around the bottom lane with his level 1 Timber Chain. Doesn't scale with cooldown, just in damage, as it is always 4 seconds, and range, I suppose. But yeah, take a look at the left side of this tree line, sir. There is no tree line.
Oh, and he needs to be so careful on Mu. Theliacore, once he hits level 2, that'll really be the timing where they do need to be cautious. And Tavo is getting a lot of creeps denied under him. That is the strength of the plus 5 Tree Protector, where you just do 94 base damage. You're always quite obnoxious, but as long as Tavo is getting levels, that's where he'll really start to recover and sort of walk away with this lane. And that's when we'll need to see Ryoya get active. And you already see he doesn't have Shadow Strike queued up at all. He knows that this is just the matchup. And while it is bearable for the Queen of Pain, you do have, I believe, slightly more base damage than the Puck. It's all going to boil down to runes. You're going to need to get them, and that's the big priority for both teams this time around.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is you have a really good animation and attack, like attack animation on Queen of Pain, right? That's one of the things that makes her really strong in that lane stage. Is it's pretty easy to CS on this hero. But you're right, those 4-minute runes are going to be huge, and when you have heroes like Tusk and Earth Spirit rotating on over, if you make a mistake there, you can definitely die to them.
When in the mid lane, that's where this matchup will be sort of scary for 40R, where it is much easier for Z-Freak to make that rotation, whereas with the Tusk, you'll always have that blink out on Ryoya, and that's where we will probably see a little bit of a skirmish. But at the same time, while that's going on, KJ is not that hero. While he is able to maybe secure a rune with his body, you're not that ganking hero. You are sort of stuck as this laning hero. And at the same time, Costabile, he's having such a fantastic time. And while he is 8-5, he's getting a few last hits on Snaking. You're splitting this lane with Z-Freak to sort of get his game going. And while they are set up for these runes, it's very obnoxious to be a Beastmaster in this lane. The PL, one of the hardest counters for that hero.
They're even rotating KJ as well. I mean, Ryoya positioned for the top. They're kind of just going to guess for the 50-50. And it's bottom, and Arcane Rune is very much favoring them. KJ falling low, but the snowball and over to Ryoya. Tag team comes down. I mean, you got no blink for a while. He's going to at least get the first blood. A nice stun comes out, but you lose your life in the end. Now Z-Freak in trouble as well. Going to get that living armor, though.
Oh, no.
He might be able to just beeline to the bottom rune. Nah, they are still going to be able to bottle it here on 40R. I mean, that's a huge win.
It's a sacrificial play for KJ that he doesn't mind making, even though you are giving the first blood up to Ryoya. You're splitting it. You're splitting the XP. You're not getting. It's not a big kill. You're not getting a huge lead over the Puck. If anything, you're getting a little bit of an XP deficit, and that's when 40R. That's when the Tusk rotation matters, because you can't blink out once he gets coiled. He already has an Arcane Rune, and an Arcane Rune for the first coil always feels so amazing when you're this Puck.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's gonna get it. I mean, he's gonna get it fairly soon. Snowball to the mid lane. He already committed that blink, and now Ryoya just going to get punished by Theliacore. A couple auto attacks. He throws the dagger out to try and make some space. The Waning Rift. That silence and the damage from the orb will end up finding the kill. And Theliacore, yeah, they will have to go for the deny.
And even just 2 deaths in a row like that, his TP's still on cooldown. He's going to have to make the walk of shame back to the mid lane. And while this is going on, 40 has free range. If he wants to TP, maybe punish Snaking. If he wants to just push in the wave, all the options are back to him. And now you've lost a lot of the aggression. It's really up all the time. It goes back to this Earth Spirit. We see it. It's such a key factor in these drafts. And I mean, maybe it just recenters on these 6-minute runes, but again, Puck is such an aggressive hero. It feels so bad to be this behind now on this Queen of Pain.
Beastmaster obviously struggling quite a bit in the top lane as well against the PL. He's just 32-9. Despite dying in the... despite being like kind of pushed out by this Timbersaw bottom, Fear's doing pretty well, getting a decent chunk of CS.
Z-Freak.
Was Z-Freak dead? Rolls in, pretty bad. Yeah, pretty substantial amount of damage, and there's gonna be the first coil, a kick back, protected from a second by that living armor, but Holding Snaking in place as well. The
Oh,
body blocks from
perfect.
KJ and a Waning Rift cooling down. This is going to just be a double kill going the way of the puck. Couple auto attacks. KJ ends up taking it. Beautiful play here from SG Esports.
And again, everything is going so rough. Thilicore might be able to get... Yeah, he got the DD denied from him, though. And again, really, he's struggling to find these plays. He's struggling to make these rotations. And because Z-Freak is trying to, if anything, trying to get him back into the game, trying to make these plays around the map, that leaves Snaking alone, and he becomes another target. He's very weak in this lane, and you TP back top, and what are you doing? You're 2 levels behind this PL now. You're not really able to put any pressure on him. At the same time, your Queen of Pain isn't the best hero at ganking him. It feels like you need those Necros before you can really make an aggressive play. At the same time, during all this, you just have Tavo getting XP, getting levels. It feels like no heroes on SG are really being contested at this point.
Ryoya's coming top. Gonna find KJ here on the Enigma. Sets up a kill, but bottom lane Tavo does end up taking down Moo with the rotation from Thelicore. I mean, they almost got the Timbersaw bottom. He was so close to dying, just barely outside of the Rocket Barrage range. Got fogged on a tree for just about half a second, giving him the space he needed to just get back to the tower and heal up thanks to those reactive armor stacks. But as a result, I mean, they just were so far forward that they can just punish it. And they're seeing another rotation to mid here, potentially.
And did he miss? Yeah, KJ was TPing from base. He did miss the bottle refill, so these 8 minutes will matter quite a lot. But really had to make that rotation during the cart, so his mid tower takes a lot of damage just for free. And it's the rotation that he had to make. You need to start punishing this Enigma. You need to start punishing the supports as much as they can, especially when they're isolated. But again, this is a skirmish that they can't take, and Z-Freak might just die for this.
Yeah, just coil the Earth Spirit. He does get the silence off the boulder kick. Ryoya doesn't really want to jump into this one. Oh, I say that, and he does exactly that. Jumps in. He does end up catching the puck with that Sonic Wave, and Thelicore, he is going to tick down here, but they get the deny. He was too afraid to go for the auto attack and ends up getting the deny instead. He's debating on going back in, I think, but too low, and top lane Costabile gets a tower.
And again, it's a spell. You don't get a return on it. It's a perfect deny, and that's all of your damage on the Queen of Pain. And I was talking about how consistent Ryoya is at getting this Orchid timing typically, but in this game, there's just nothing going his way. He hasn't been able to secure himself a rune in a few minutes. He hasn't been able to have very successful rotations. Just getting Enigma, you need to get these kills consistently, and you're just not very happy if it's just this level 3 Enigma. He's fine with giving his life if he's going to tank as many spells as he has.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
They're doing what they can, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. They're getting a lot out of these lanes from SG Esports. This is kind of what we expected, right? Like, this is exactly how we would have anticipated these lanes going. The Quat matchup mid definitely favoring the Puck a little bit, especially with the rotations early. Puck also finding a couple kills onto the supports. Moo just having no ability to contest bottom lane outside of just a long-range Nature's Grasp, hoping it helps clear up some of these creeps, but
This is the power of the Timbersaw, where you need a hero to go up against him, and maybe Tavo is able to be punished, but finally, we're seeing that this Puck is going to try and get involved. He has Coil again, and if you're not too careful...
Down. There's no roar mana, though. And immediate coil. They're going to try and go for it. The snowball able to absorb so much of the damage, and the gyro just the first one to fall. Ryoya, no Sonic Wave, but a big AoE Scream of Pain, and able to take down the Tusk. The question is, can they get Tavo? That is the kill that they really need to get. They got the Necro unit there doing so much work, burning all of that mana, and Ryoya will find that one, getting himself a killing spree now.
Oh, but again, even though those are the kills you need to make, you're rotating 5 heroes. They're much more independent on SG Esports with the lead they've gained, and you've got this PL absolutely untouched, claims both bounty runes, is farming your triangle right now. And who do you go to pressure him? Once you use your cooldowns, there's really no hero that can go up against him. You need to get the boars on him. You need to catch him really off guard, and it just feels unfortunate. It feels like there are too many heroes recovering on PentAce right now. Their map can't really sustain this kind of play.
Yeah, they need like like Queen of Pain to jump in and catch like PL into a roar, essentially, right? Like that's the only way that you're gonna kill this guy. Mid lane, they are looking for 40R though. He does able to get out for a moment. The roar, however, will lock him down. Sonic Wave available. Does come out, does not connect onto the Puck, but they will go ahead and settle for the Tusk. Nice save there, and a great haste rune actually keeping him alive.
And again, it goes back to map control where Puck, he's consistently able to get these runes. It's a fantastic snowball to save him, but it takes so long. You have to rotate so many heroes, and they're trying to get these towers, but again, it's so easy for SG to defend these towers, and unless PentAce, we saw 4 heroes mid, they have to group up to get a lot of stuff done, and you'll see this Timbersaw just walk lane to lane, get the stacks up, and anything really just has to be so careful. Need to commit so much to kill any hero on SG at this point. There's already a defusal on the PL. They're just accelerating so fast at this rate.
Yeah, he's incredibly farmed. Almost 6k net worth, but they will go ahead and take down top tier 1. Snake King's Necro 1 is at least online, but I mean, it's such a slow Necro book this game. You would like to be almost completed with Necro 2 right now, and it is, oh, it is. Okay, it's literally on Courier. All right, nice. I was going to say, if he doesn't have Necro 2 coming out, this is going to be a disaster. But Necro 2 online should have roughly that 15-minute Necro 3 timing that you like to have.
Oh,
However,
Rioya.
Rioya's caught in the jungle with a coil and another pickoff for SG Esports.
And again, we're just seeing Theliacore able to play this role so well where he's able to find these kills. He's been much more involved than the previous game. And at the same time, with the way, this is the power of Earth Spirit, but it's also the detriment of Earth Spirit, where it's such a swingy hero. If you're not able to get your levels in an expedient fashion, you're not this Phosphor Tiny, you're not this Ronda where you always have this inevitable damage that you can output. It's a lot riskier, and you're just not finding the combination of heroes to kill this SG lineup. And oh, does Moo get punished?
No, he's just
They're
walking
looking
into
for
some
him.
trees.
He's running.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is like the worst feeling when you try to gank a tree and he's just like, ooh, I'm just going to lumber my way into some trees. Don't mind me.
When we see the items coming out from SG as well, everything is so proactive. We see Tavo immediately going for the Lotus Orb. It really is the counter versus Gyrocopter, where you can't haphazardly throw out your homing missile anymore. You need to be so careful. And 40R, he has a Yule Scepter completed, so any Orchid timing that could be there for Rioya, it's not feeling great. And this is one of the slowest Orchids I've seen in a while. He's just been so pressured by Theliacore and this Puck, and it just feels like there's a lot of unfortunate events coming down on PentAce.
Yeah, him being as underfarmed as he is really hurting his team, because he needs to have an Orchid like almost in the next like minute and a half usually, and he's so slow, so far behind it, which gives you so little kill threat on some of these heroes.
And that's why we haven't seen them play up versus this PL. They know that it's just not going to end up well. It's going to take so long to kill him. They really can't kill him. He already has max doppel. He has so many levels on him. And they're trying to do what they can. They're trying to put pressure on these towers, if anything, forcing SG to fight them. But at the same time, I like to talk about how independent the heroes on SG are. They really get to play in these small splotches. And Cage is just farming the enemy jungle. He's getting a mech. He has a full mech. On this Pos 5 Enigma, and the teamfight's just going to continue to get worse.
Yep, exactly. They're going to TP in top lane. There is the coil onto the Earth Spirit. Overgrowth not going to catch Puck. Holding Tusk in, and Rioya, a beautiful jump onto the backside. The roar onto Puck as well. They should have the damage. They finish him off. Double kill for the Queen of Pain. Arcane Rune on him as well. So the chase will be there. Great silence. A missile locating him down. Call down is available. Can they chase this? But it seems very scary.
It's a good cancel as well, and that's what they need to do. If anything, PentAce need to bait them into these sort of unfortunate circumstances where SG are getting caught out in these sort of highways of the map where they're caught on the ramp. They have complete vision. Looks like Z-Freak's dead. Yep.
Yeah, caught by Malefice. It's one of those spells that's just impossible to do anything with as an Earth Spirit. You can't get roll off ever.
And while these picks are perfect, they're exactly what they need to get back into this game. I don't think they can fight the full-on of SG, and as soon as SG want to turn on the gas, they are just going to start pushing down these lanes, and you'll see them with the carts. That's the timing, if anything, they were waiting for, and they're just going to start enveloping the enemy team's jungle, and if they smoke and find any picks, if they cut in at Rioya...
They do have to respect Snake King top, though. I mean, he's got the Necro 3 and a Catapult. I mean, if you don't respond, that tower will die.
And that's the strength
nice
of the
two-man coil on the backside. The silence as well. The Queen of Pain, nowhere to go. Treant can't do anything. No overgrowth available. And now it just comes down to fear. Can he help take down Tavo?
No.
Beautiful Timber Chain away. And now Gyro stuck here all by himself. KJ. No mana for the black hole, but it doesn't even look like it's necessary. He's able to just chase down Z-Freak. This might just be a 4 for 0, and it is, as Tavo just cleans him up.
And it's so reliant on 40R. You're completely right. If Beastmaster is able to get this free lane in the top lane, that tower will die, and it's taken a lot of damage, but again, you try to fight in the PL. This is the first time SG has grouped up as 5, and it's just a disaster for PentAce. And they're going to go 1-for-1 for towers? No, not even.
No,
in fact, it's going to be 40R looking.
Yeah, they forwarded the top tower, and the flak just killed the catapult.
And once Costa Bile gets this Manta style, then again, you're Queen of Pain. You have to wait so long. You have to be so patient. And it feels like SG, every single time they're able to get these coils, it's just a perfect grab from 40R. Anything slower, any more beating around the bush, there might have been some repercussions in that top wave, but instead, they're just confident standing up here, and now Costa Bile, he's almost forcing 4 heroes to just stare at him and farm. As even if you roar him, which he's not, he's in the top lane, I don't know if you're going to be able to kill him because you have this mech on KJ. I feel like the timing that they've hit is just so disgustingly strong.
They're going straight for snaking. They know that he's just such a nuisance. Yeah, he's just going to go for the TP out pretty much right away. Long TP to the middle tower. They do end up smoking before he gets there, but either way, a good rotation. They just got to make sure they don't walk into a big black hole here from KJ. A nice Orchid reveal right on top, and they'll be able to finish him off. No problem at all. Overgrowth being pump faked here by Moo. He's got to get out, though. He's going to lose all his mana to these PL illusions. Thelacore tries to shards him down to the low ground. It's not going to matter. They get a quick 2.
And it's a perfect punish coming out. As soon as you see Tabo, that's when you want to smoke up. And it's very succinct from PentAce. And it's those punishments that are going to pay dividends eventually, but again, you don't have the same item timings. You do have this Orchid on Relay and now, and I think Tabo might get punished.
The roar, the call down not available, but the Mask of Madness gyrocopter with that rocket barrage that Costa Bile just doppelgangers in. A 4-man coil. Moo, he does have the overgrowth. They could try and bait it, but SG Esports a little bit afraid to go in. Again, he's got to save this overgrowth for the black hole, right?
And they have to be so careful about how they engage, and that's why Costa Bile, I'm surprised they're getting forced around the map a little bit. PentAce are really doing good on their aggression, and again, SG, they just need to group up. If they group up, they're going to be fine. They're going to be able to push in these waves, and again, exude that power of the PL on the map as he's still, without contest, he's really just at the top of the network. There's no really threat to kill him, especially when that roar is down, but PentAce are making the best of a worse situation. If they could get another pick on the puck, that would be the most ideal, but again, they're smoking up. They want to find these heroes, and if they're pinging out Rioya, they don't see him, but
it's gonna get popped by, or Moo's gonna see all of this happening. They catch him bottom lane without the doppelganger, the Sonic Wave. He's gonna pop to this Orchid potentially. No, he barely makes it out. A huge heal there from that barrier and the stick, and now Rioya taking so much damage, able to blink out. Moo falls first. Question is, can they find the Queen of Pain hiding in the trees? They will get the vision just barely. He doesn't get the blink. Final frame there on that animation. 40R will take him down.
And they felt confident. They saw him out scouting with Moo, and they knew that there wasn't any immediate help, but again, just barely not able. Just save your sticks charges, save your wand charges. They just didn't have enough damage, and as soon as he gets that top out, and this is just a problem that's going to compound as soon as this Manta style is online. Well, defensively coiled top, but again, you're losing towers.
Yeah, once again, they really need to get this mid-tier 1. It has been just such a bane for PentAce here. Like, it hasn't really allowed them to threaten this triangle at all and really get to invade the enemy jungle all that much. I mean, the Beastmaster's been able to stay up in the top lane, but it is scary for him to go too far into the dire jungle here.
If anything, the one thing Snaking's been doing extremely well is he hasn't been getting caught out. He has been able to farm quite well. He's actually really farmed. He almost has a Blink Dagger on top of his Necro 3. Then the puck does need to be slightly afraid. He's got the Lincoln Sphere queued up already, but we've got a lot of very strong items coming online. Tavo completed his Lotus Orb, I believe, 200 gold away from Manta Style on Costa Bile, and then I feel like they aren't able to get Roche. That is one thing that SG's lineup isn't the best at, especially if PentAce are all alive. They do need to find picks. Oh no, Rioya.
He doesn't have any way out of this, really. He's going to drop the stun. Yeah, just perfectly done here from 40R, using that Euls to cancel that TP.
And it feels like he needs to make these plays. He's buying a lot of time for Fear to try and get this speed. He is not going for that BKB. He's trying to get this Maelstrom up so they can go into the PL, but again, now that you have this Manta style, one more item, and it feels like there really is no chance of really beating this PL. Is now you have to save so many spells. He does have to choose if he wants to Manta style the Overgrowth or the Orchid, but oh, can you kill Tavo?
This would be a nice one. The Reflected Roar. I mean, Moo, he does have Overgrowth Ultimate in place. He is going to go ahead and pop in the Necro Army, doing a lot of work here, but the mech comes in.
How many
Tavo
heroes?
Surviving for the moment. They're going to be able to Black Hole all three of them. They turn it around and Tavo survives. It's just an immediate triple kill here for the Phantom Lancer. A huge commitment, and they get nothing.
And if anything, it's the Nether Shell, 25% magic resistance, and being able to reflect that roar, that was disastrous. And it's just the cleanup crew. Even if you lose Tavo there, you were still going to lose 3 heroes no matter what. And I'm surprised they made that play without fear. If they have fear, I feel like it's so much cleaner. You're maybe able to get those kills in a much easier fashion. And I mean, I said they can't do Roche without the heroes dead, and the heroes are all dead. It's pretty slow, but this PL, if he's able to get this Aegis, they're just going to be able to play this map so much differently on SG. And I don't know, PentAce need to make a rotation, but I don't think they will in time.
Yeah, it is a slow Roche, which will give them a little bit of time to farm here on the side of PentAce and try and get Fear closer and closer to that Maelstrom. But yeah, there's no contesting this Roshan anymore. Maybe you chip tower damage bottom if you're Ryoya here.
And again,
oh,
you make
there's
that
a coil. The
play.
haste comes out from 4DR, and Snowball's going to chase him down. They've got the Walrus Punch, the Waning Rift to silence him up for even longer, and Queen of Pain, another death.
And this just can't keep happening. At this point, Ryoya, the only reason they made that smoke play is because the same fashion happened, and they're trying it again, where 2 heroes show to kill Ryoya. They're trying to make a play on the other heroes, maybe even trying to kill the puck. And I guess you're happy with killing Theolacor, but at the same time, this isn't the kill you need. All of the SG heroes are not being stopped at all. And Tavo, he's just knocking out the front door. He's
Well, he
on
finds
your tier 3
4DR.
already.
The question is, can they actually kill him? He does Waning Rift to the low ground, and oh, the roll in from Z-Freak, able to get the Magnetize, but you are just going to be chased down and shredded by this Phantom Lancer. Not a whole lot you can do. KJ does find Snaking on the side here. I mean, really, who's found who, though? Snaking now in a little bit of trouble. Missile will give him some space, so he's able to just continue the run. Blink up in 2 seconds. If he can keep the fog, he's out. Well, maybe not out, because there is still a puck in pursuit, but he's not dead yet.
There's no TP on him, though. Yeah, his fate is sort of sealed, but it is a lot of space for Fear. You did get 2 supplemental kills, but at the same time, it's just the SG cores, and even when they were trying to get the turn onto 4DR, it just felt like Snaking was just 1 step behind, and even though Z-Freak, he got the good roll, he was getting the silences, the entire time he has this Yule Scepter. He's really just baiting, if anything, PentAce further and further into the SG woods, and again, you still have this tier 3 mid. There's really all of the TP plays, all the rotations that can come out so fast, and it's this highway where you're not able to make these plays in the mid that you otherwise would. The rotations are just so quick from SG.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tavo with these boots of travel now picked up. I mean, he is just so farmed on this Timbersaw. We knew going into this last pick Timbersaw was going to be so strong. Z-Freak found once again.
Oh, no.
What's going on in the river or in the jungle here? Okay, they do manage to take down Tavo, but the 2-man coil, KJ, just helping offer a little bit more control here as they're going to be able to take down Fear as well. Double kill for the puck, and Z-Freak still trying to run from Costa Bile, but it's not going to matter. 3 kills. They do trade the Timbersaw, but you're pretty dang happy about that.
And again, all of these trades, it's at what cost? You're losing these heroes consistently, and that's why Fear has been sort of tiptoeing around these fights. He hasn't been committing, even though he is the hero to necessarily kill this puck, to kill this Timbersaw. And we see there, the first time he shows up, he
caught
tries
by
to get
a
the
roar
play.
Bottom. They do have Overgrowth. Oh, he ran out of mana. He doesn't have it. They don't have the damage. He will go ahead and pop the Overgrowth now, or going to be canceled, but he has the Yules trying to take down Theolacor instead, and it looks like they will be able to do it. The boys, they need to get out here now. They can always TP into the bottom tier 1 tower if they wanted, but it looks like they're too busy farming and pushing the top lane.
And that is something they do constantly need to be scared of. Whenever Tavo is dead, he really is the answer to the Menagerie. That's something that Beastmaster it's very good. Tavo is really the only hero that can answer that besides the PL, and at the same time, PL, he's getting another tier 2. He's just claiming more map control, more gold. He has a Basher now, so there is that random chance where maybe he just kills one of your cores out of the blue and trying to scout Moo. Well, that's scary.
Yeah, they did scan him out. He does have the Blink Dagger now, though. Got that right off the kill bottom lane. And they're doing their best to try and scout him out, but It's not going to happen. And like you said, he's just going to continue to work on this tower. Gyrocopter doing what he can to find farm elsewhere, looking for the Mjolnir as his next item, which makes a lot of sense. The static charge active that comes out is really good at clearing up the PL illusions because it's just based on attack instances. So the more that the PL attacks you, the more he's just going to just shoot out these lightnings in an AoE. And it can end up backfiring really heavily in a fight if you don't pay attention to it, like PL wise. Like he can actually hurt and potentially kill his allies as a result.
In addition to that, there's just so many summons, especially with the Eidolons. It's something that they constantly need to be wary of. But at the same time, the bigger item timing, I think, is this BKB on Ryoya, where he'll finally have the option where he's not just going to get coiled, die, snowball, everything cast on him, but it almost feels a little bit too late. He's still 300 gold away from it, and the tower push is here. Oh, and they got Mu in the trees. They found him.
Wow.
It's the gem on Puck.
Oh, did they buy a gem? Yeah, they did. I was like, I'm encouraged, surprised. I thought he had that all dewarded, but yeah, Mu is dead. They have fortification, but they have no interest in really defending this. It's just Gyro in the bottom lane trying to do what he can. Dire have their fort available. They will finally go ahead and use it, and the melee barracks is just struggling.
And if anything, it could have been the punishment on 40R where he isn't closing in on that Aghanim Scepter. It's something that they might not need to worry about. And I believe Ryoya sold something to get that BKB, and he finally has it. But again, they don't want to give up these towers if they catch any hero spot.
They catch the Gyro, and they lose the tower, but missiles coming out, roar onto that PL. 40R's got to be careful, but so does the Phantom Lancer. I mean, JK, he's got Aegis, he's got Abyssal Blade. This guy does not care. Aegis just gets reclaimed, actually, as we're speaking about it.
They will be able to get KJ top, but at the same time, it just feels awful. Losing Fear in the situation, and what other counterplays are you able to make? You already used War. It's really just this Earth Spirit now that's able to make these aggressive plays, and he does have the Spirit Vessel, but even with the Aegis complaint, there's a full Abyssal Blade on Coast of Belay. If Ryoya isn't careful in these side lanes, the same punishment can happen, and again, it just feels so scary right now for PentAce. If they show anywhere, it feels like SG could be there in just a matter of seconds. And with this gem on 40R, the map is dark. They're completely blind, and Mu is not really able to get out on the map as he was before. They're just playing so fast and so well on SG.
Yeah, PentAce, it feels like they're just, you know, looking for scraps falling off the table at this point. Like there's not a lot of options that they have. Mid lane, Tavo, just so dang tanky, picks up another plate mail, going for the Shiva's Guard next, and why not, right? Like, he's got really nothing to worry about at this point.
And once he has that, again, the Beastmaster, it's going to feel even worse. And without the BKB on the Gyrocopter, if he gets clipped by it, you don't have that flat cannon inner beast where you start shredding through heroes with flak. And again, that's the PL matchup. You have so many illusions to tank those flat cannon shots that I don't even feel like SG's backline are really getting affected by it. And again, Enigma, KJ, he has a Blink Dagger, and it's that other effect where you have to worry in the back of your mind, is this Enigma going to find a black hole? If he finds anything in these fights, then PentAce just, they have to immediately pop the Overgrowth. They need to be so careful, but I feel like at this point they need to use the Overgrowth to hold down some of these heroes. They need to get something out of the PL, and this would be the opportunity. He just used the Manta, but
oh, the roar, it catches the right one, but the snowball saved. So nice. And again, like you said, the Enigma just waiting so patiently on the backside here. He's gonna go in, he catches the black hole, but it's immediately canceled. The Overgrowth from Mu, but it still doesn't matter. They're just all evaporating under the damage of this Phantom Lancer. And they're going to keep looking for more silence under the tower. You've lost all 3 cores. You got buyback on only the Beastmaster. And that's got to be the end of the game here. Dying right outside the base. KJ saying sorry over and over again, but it doesn't matter.
And it's just such an unfortunate jump where Ryoya immediately pops the BKB, and yeah, G's are just dropped. There's nothing they can do at this point. It was just such a good jump as well on Coast of Belay. He immediately used his Manta style. He didn't have any options to him, but again, they're so scared to jump because of this Enigma. And even though he gets his black hole immediately canceled, you see the Puck, he's even more patient. He immediately coils Ryoya after his BKB is over. And again, it's the matchup. It just felt too awful in this game, and they consistently punish Ryoya. This is a Ryoya I haven't seen in a while, where 9-9-4, he's just not used to his game going as poorly as it did, and it felt like PentAce's draft was so reliant on him having a very good time.
Yeah, I mean, this was a first pick puck, and they just did not know how to respond to it here on the side of PentAce. Like last game, they pick up the Void Spirit, right? But you last pick the Queen of Pain into it, thinking, it'll be fine. We'll make some early rotations, and it just doesn't work. Like they get punished so hard this game by Theliacor, specifically making rotations to the mid lane, killing Ryoya over and over again. And you're not going to win these side lanes either. So it was just an incredibly well thought out game here from SG Esports. I mean, a flawless game from Costa Bile, at 10-0 and 2. But it is now a tied series, and we get to go to a game 3, the first time here. This is actually the first best game 3 so far. Oh no, Ego Boys and the Cut went to
Ego Boys versus Cut.
Yeah, that one went to game 3. I forgot about that one. But yeah, we do get our a game 3 here between PentAce and SG Esports. It's gonna be a blast, man. One of these teams will go home. The other one will advance to the lower bracket finals, or no, semifinals, lower bracket semifinals? Semifinals,
yep.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We got game 3 coming up after just a short break, everyone. PentAce versus SG Esports here on the BTS Pro Series Season 5. We'll see you in a bit.